Hello, art students. Today we are going to be creating a painting that is inspired by the artist Pierre Mondrian. Okay, and he was very well known for his compositions using the primary colors and horizontal and vertical lines. We're going to be using crayons, we're going to be using a pencil, permanent markers, a ruler for nice straight-edged lines, and we're going to use some watercolor paint and a water cup with a brush. That is the supplies we're using. We're going to start with our basic pencil and our ruler to begin this project, okay? So in his compositions, his lines are vertical and horizontal. Vertical lines go up and down. So to do our first vertical line, take your ruler and we're going to line up the top edge of our ruler with the top edge of our paper like this. And we're going to draw a straight line. Notice that I'm holding my ruler down with my left hand really firmly, and my right hand is drawing a line right against the ruler. The whole way down, my pencil was right up against the ruler. Once you move your ruler out of the way, you'll see that you have drawn a perfectly straight line, okay? Now, Pierre Mondrian's lines aren't always super thin like this line. Sometimes they appear a little bit thicker. So I can create another one that goes right next to it. So here's my previous line. I'm gonna draw another line that goes right beside it. Just like that. Okay? So now I have two lines that are really close together. Then I can take my Sharpie permanent black marker and I can very carefully, with a very steady hand, I'm going to use this hand over here, and I'm going to hold it on my wrist over here to bring more balance to the motion of my hand. Okay, so now I'm going to carefully color in that line with my permanent marker. Oh my goodness, I need a new marker. There we go, that's better. Take your time, go slow. You want your line to appear nice and straight still. Be very steady. I'm looking for quality, so make sure you're really focused. I need all of your good artist energy to be focused on your lines. Okay? If you want to try drawing against your ruler with your marker like this, that might be another good technique. Just make sure that if you're using your ruler, that you remember to hold your ruler down really tight and snug. Okay, I like that technique. That's a good strategy. There we go. So we have a nice thick line drawn with our permanent marker, but first I planned it out with pencil. If you're comfortable working with just your permanent marker and skipping a step with your pencil, you can do that. If you use your pencil though, you gain the ability to erase it, okay, in case if you didn't like it. I'll let you decide how you want to work. Okay, then I'm going to create another line over here. I'm going to do that same technique because that worked out really slick. I'm going to line up the top edge of my ruler with the paper so I have a nice straight up and down. Please, no diagonal lines. This is diagonal, okay? We want vertical, straight up and down, as straight as you can make it. I'm going to make a line that stops right about there. I'm going to come over here. And to match it, there we go. Then I'm going to close off the gap here, like that. And I'm carefully gonna shade that in with my marker. See how that works? Okay. All right, and then also he would do horizontal lines, lines that go this way. Okay. If your lines cross over each other, your vertical and your horizontal lines, that is called an intersection. Notice I'm moving my hand out of the direction. If I held my hand right here and I was going to draw a line, all of my fingers would have been in the way. So I have to move my hand to the other side. This line almost goes to the edge of the paper. I like that it almost saw the edge. Okay, then I'm going to shade that in. Notice I rotated my paper. I think it's because it seemed easier to me to shade it in the vertical format instead of shading it in this way. I think it was easier. I don't know, I trust my instincts. I think it was easier to shade it in going this way. You get to make those little tiny decisions as an artist. Whatever you think works easier for you, you should probably do it. Okay, so we have a horizontal line. We have a vertical up and down line. Vertical up and down line. This line here is short. This line is super long. It goes across the entire paper. This line almost goes across the whole paper. Okay. Maybe there is a line that is really short. Or maybe perhaps there's a line that's really thin, where it's only using one line with your Sharpie. Maybe there's a series of lines. Maybe you have a really thick line. So I'm going to shade in these lines. This is all a very thick line. So you can let your lines be thick as well. Makes for an interesting composition to have a couple, if not one thick line in there. Same with the super thin line. Take your time with this process. Do a good job. And I think I'm going to do another one over here. We'll do a thin line like that. And I'll do another thin line over here like this. There we go. And I don't want to add too many lines on my composition. Otherwise, it starts feeling overwhelming, okay? You want it to feel balanced. For example, if I stopped putting things on this side would be heavier. This side would be lighter, right? So think about that visual weight. Wherever you're applying more items to your paper, it's causing you to have more attention drawn to those areas. This heavy, dark line up here is very dark, so it demands a lot of my visual attention to be drawn to that area. Therefore, it's offsetting the balance, okay? Think about that. Think about how your balance is in your work. I will show you in the next video how to do the color. I'll see you there. I'll be waiting.